Hello and welcome. My name is Neil Thrussell, and I'm super excited that I've got Asma Methqal on in the audience today. Not in the audience, in the hot seat today. And Asma is a business marketing strategist, a transformational coach, and I'm losing my an advocate for feminine leadership. And just as exciting, she's an author, and she's got an upcoming book called Fire and Flow Leadership that's going to come out in 2023. Welcome, Asma.
Hi, Neil. I'm so glad to be here in the hot seat. I like to
Yeah,
call it the love seat.
absolutely. And it's wonderful. And so we're here to talk about success. And I'm just going to ask you to transport yourself way back to when you were just a younger version of yourself. And what was success to you, whether there was the version of you finishing high school or entering university? What do you think the younger version of you measured success or thought success was?
Yeah, that's beautiful. I was born in Morocco and I got the beautiful opportunity at the age of 21 to move to Canada to do my master's degree. And so at that time, my definition of success was to be fully independent, to have my own money, to have my own business, and to have 50 employees. I don't know why I had this image that I had a business and I had 50 employees and I was leading this company and traveling the world and doing all of that. The funny thing, now that I think about it, it's like I had this thought that my dream needed to be bigger and worth more than my own sleep. So I was like, let's just go, let's just do this, let's execute. So I was in this mode of just go, 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 let's build this, let's be independent and have a great big business.
So what I heard the underlying is something was drawing you. Something there was this big vision and it was pulling you along to success.
Yes.
And where did this vision come from? Was it just slowly nurtured or did you just wake up one day and go, I need to do this?
I don't think it was nurtured. It was more like fired up. Like there was a lot of things that I was seeing around me, and a lot of messages I was receiving that women cannot do this. Women needs a man in order for them to succeed, and I just wanted to prove everybody wrong. And so I was like, yes, I'm capable. Yes, I can do it. Yes, I can be independent. Yes, I'm gonna create the best thing out there. And so I think there was a lot of fueling from needing to prove my worth, proving myself, and proving that I can do it. And that was the message that I was sending back to my culture and to the way I was brought up or the women that was still left in my country. And yeah, it was that fire that I needed to do this. Like I had this big need to prove everybody wrong and I can do it.
Well, thank you. And that's wonderful. But that need and that fire, that passion to do it, when faced with that, because at some point you had a choice that you chose to be fiery. And was it from your personality? Was it from the way you were raised? Because you could have equally just been meek and said no and followed so what was it, do you think, within you that got you to move in a direction?
I would say definitely strong determination, um, and that and really taking risks. So it was for me like going, taking risks, and really that strong determination that I can do it, and being very self motivated and ambitious to realize that. And the beautiful thing is, I did. Like I was able to get there. It was a variation of it, but it was very, very close. Um, but how I felt the moment I reached that was very different.
Wonderful. And so what 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 was the secret that kept you moving? Like something was drawing you, cuz what got you up in the morning? It was a sense of anger, a sense of wonderment? Was it a sense of I can do this?
It was definitely a sense of determination and having this big dream and wanting like to achieve that big dream, like believing in myself and trusting in myself that I can do it. um, the underneath layer about it, why, what was driving it, it was only something that I discovered later years. But when I was in it with that big goal, it was definitely my own, like ambitious, being ambitious, my own determination to create that, my self motivation, and the fact that I had a beautiful dream. I wanted to go after that dream. Um, but definitely my definition of success changed since then. So the one I have today is very different than the one I had like during that time.
Okay, so now present time. How would you define success for yourself right now?
Well, my definition of success today is peace of mind. So it's very different.
Where's
It's
the drive? Where's the determination? Where's the rebel, the fight against the world, Asma?
it's still there. It's still there. The only difference about it is I I am not choosing anymore to live in a chaotic world and be in this chaos all the time, but really making strategic decision in my path to success or my new definition with that sense of peace of mind and inner peace. So choosing the clients I want to work with and the people I want to work with that I know it's going to be a lot of fun, a lot of joy, and a lot of expansion and growth, right? Because before I will go and work with any clients that were ready, that have the money, let's go. And even if it was difficult and it was hard, I will morph myself to meet them where they are, versus like completely now I'm intentionally choosing who I want to work with because I have this beautiful fire and passion, but I'm choosing to be intentional about it and having fun doing it. So now my definition of success is fun and play in what I do, while at the same time working with amazing, incredible people that expand my soul, that expand and grow my business, and create this beautiful abundance of relationship and people and learning and growth all the way. So it's a more holistic, circular kind of success versus the linear success I had. Like I need to hit there, I need to go there. And it was very focused. So I'll say maybe there's a mix of feminine and masculine into my success definition today. So there's a lot of fire and there's a lot of flow into it as well.
It's one of, and what I heard in the underlying in all of that was choice.
Yes.
So you've made active choices. And so does this mean that you spent time and looking at and pulled all the band-aids off and looked at all the pimples and warts within yourself and then gone, hey, I love this about me, and hey, I could do better.
It was not about doing it better, it was about doing it differently and more aligned with who I am. Um, I was really good at being excellent at something that I was not enjoying. But then when I took the time to get to know myself, date myself, heal any wounds that I've uncovered, any preconditioning that I had from society or my culture or the best that my parents could do or my friends, colleague, family, and all of that, then I was able like to uncover this essence in me and this genius zone in me that was hidden, that society told me no, no, you cannot have a business where you're like dancing and moving and empowering people, and just by using your words you can like be successful just by inspiring others and sharing your own most vulnerable stories and experiences and tell them how you got from point A to point B and showing others how to do it faster. that was no business model like that in the 80s or the 90s, right? And so so it was like, oh, I just unearthed this beautiful essence within me that was there the whole time, but I had to hit it because society told me this is not success and this is not a definition of success. But now I'm allowing that to come out and create from that place. So now I create from my own essence, and I help women find and unearth that essence and build their dream business from that place. Because your business and your definition of success needs to be full of joy and fun and play, and like, yes, there's definitely determination and there's definitely that place of structure and creating and going after it, but there's also this place where you're feeding your soul and you're having fun doing it and you're serving from your heart, you know. So a beautiful little mix.
What I love in back to choice is because, and I think for any successful person, and what it's uncovering is at some point in time they're faced with choosing what society has set for them, and in your case, cultural, family, and and then choosing to actively pursue the path that is right for them.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I say now, like, success is matches the rhythm of my soul.
Ooh, very nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
And and of course, when you had to go against cultural norms and defy what people just put as it was a woman, and you had to move across the country, different countries. Of course, it was easy, and it was without any conflict, and it was without. It was just smooth.
Hell no. But you know, that's the beauty, and that's what I discovered. I love I loved struggle. I thrived in struggle, and ease was hard for me. So that was my lesson. And it was like how I can create a business from ease, and that was hard. It's like, oh my God, like just having fun and playing and just doing this thing that I'm passionate about. And that was really my true definition of success when I hit that. And I was like, oh my God, that's what it feels like. It doesn't need to be always struggle and always working all the time and not having time for friends and family and connections and relationship. Like, there is a place for that, but there's also a place for like creating ease. And so it was an eye-opening moment for me that I was like, oh my God, I thrive in struggle, and ease is really hard. So of course, in order for me to expand my own growth, I needed to go and discover and uncover what ease meant and what how that looked like. And like you said, it was about, at the end of the day, it was about choice. It was about choosing me and choosing my unapological version of me and showing as her and giving myself permission to do so. But definitely, there's a lot of inner work that needs to happen before you can choose unapologetically to be yourself. There's that sense of external validation and fear of judgments, and there's all of these different elements that you have to strive from those in order for you like to be fully who you are.
And it takes an incredible amount of courage to go away from societal norms,
Mhm.
you know, because, culturally, as a woman, you should have just been making babies.
Yeah,
Right?
and cooking.
Yeah. And it takes an incredible amount of courage to go against, and it takes an incredible amount of courage to say to your parents, I love you, but I need to do this. Where in you do you think this strength, this courage came from?
That's a really good question. A lot of people do see a lot of me of resilience and courage, and I love that courage come from the word French cœur, which is heart. Um, I think it was that passion for serving and for desiring people all around me to recognize their strength and show them, the mirror to them the strength and inspire them that they can do it. And so I think it's something that's always been there. And I have to also to thank my culture and all everything, my history, because if I didn't lived in, if I was not born in Morocco, if I didn't have the parents, if I didn't have that culture during that time, that in that place and time, maybe like all of this that was already within me, my courage, my resilience, my determination, my fire, my flow, would have been maybe a little bit hidden, but they were able like to completely expand that for me in order for me like to show up as that today.
So what you're saying is you're a little bit masochistic, that you're willing to go into this deep trench and face your fears, which not many people are not afraid, that are afraid to do.
What I did was not like go in and be masochistic about it, but it was more about how I can allow myself to feel deeply and and see what those emotions and those feelings are trying to tell me and what I can learn from them. So again, I shifted from like let's go battle mode, warrior mode, into a more gentle and more about okay, let's go deep, let's just sit with this and like with grace. So I learned to build, so I had courage, and now like okay, how I can bring more grace into me and how I can feel more deeply, how I can respond and be intentional, versus just like reacting and going and doing. And so I just start to build more this like beingness, and it's like what it feels to be. Because at the end of the day, when emotion rises, whether that's anger or frustration or excitement, they are trying to tell you something. And the moment we take the time to witness them and we allow them, then they will go away. But if you like put them down, then they're just gonna stay trapped in you, and one day you're gonna burst from it. So it was more from that place of self-compassion and grace and inquiry. It was more, instead of action, it was a sense of inquiry. It's like, okay, let me inquire a little bit more and be curious, and then from there I can take aligned action. The action still happen, the success is still there, the road to it is just, now there's this element of harmony between inquiring and then taking action, between like feeling versus like before doing. And I feel like it became just more holistic, instead of letting my head take me where I needed to go and then just like reacting and responding to whatever I was receiving. I was more like standing grounded in who I am and like choosing from that place and be intentional about it and just allowing for everything to merge together, you know?
Wonderful. Thank you for the heartfelt, deep, heartfelt share.
Oh,
And
my pleasure.
it's crazy, but we're out of time. It's
Okay.
like it's like it's great that I organized so many the 20-minute interviews, but it's like we're just getting started and then we
I
have to
know.
go. So if you could leave our listeners and viewers with uh, your thoughts on you'd like to share with them, please do.
Yeah, thank you so much. I think the main thing I would love the listeners to think about is like asking yourself, how can I keep moving forward in my life while like listening to my own rhythm of my own soul and what I want to create and do at this moment. Because I do believe when we stay dynamic in our ways, that could involve slowing down, but also like moving. But there's always this sense of moving. So how I can create more movement into my life, because that will always help you define more your own definition of success. And that's what I love about success, and that's what I love this topic, is it morphs and it changes as we grow and as we have new experiences. And it's just beautiful. It's just this like open like place of like this beautiful ocean with waves, and the waves are just different every time, but you are still like surfing those waves and you're still like in it, while being truly who you are. So that would be my invitation, is like be real with who you are and just move in your own rhythm.
Thank you. And before we forget, Asma and I talked off screen that check out fireandflowacademy.com and go to her resource page if you want when you want to know more about it. Please, 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 please. And with that, I just want to say thank you, and we're done. Thank you for joining us, Asma.
My pleasure, Neil. Thank you so much for having me.